in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network. Happy Halloween Eve. Oh my goodness. I just feel like I'm Halloweened out. I was just spending like way too much time trying to fix the lights behind me, and I just ended up simplifying. How you doing? What's going on? This weekend is a blur. How was your weekend? Let me know. Do let me know. What did I miss? Boo, y'all. See, I could have hung this behind me, but I got in, when you buy those fairy lights, they're really hard to untangle. I've learned that. They're pretty, but enough of that. Some of you were with me at the Goblin Ball. That was crazy. Yeah, and then last night we had our Halloween event, and yesterday I did Church of Spirituality, and what went on Saturday? We had our Grassroots of Democracy meeting during the day, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And thank you to those of you who came to the Halloween event. It was something really special, and if you missed it, we'll do it again next year. Oh, well, I know what I can do. Hang on. Time to put on the witchy earrings. We'll get some spirit going. So, yeah, nice boo flag. I didn't even get a chance to put it outside, on Main Street. But anyway. What are you guys doing tomorrow night? It is pouring buckets here. I think it stopped, but it's been a rainy, cold day. My headband was made by one of my viewers last year. I don't know if she's still doing this, but a little close up with the spider. See the spider eyes? So thought I'd be festive and wear that. The veils are extremely thin. I'm going to Maine on Wednesday for a retreat that's kind of a leadership retreat, where we're going to talk about the real issues in the world, and it's going to be good. I'm going to do my best to still come and do our PNNs and meetings and everything else. Nice and hot in Southern California. Yeah, it was chilly today. Let's take a look at some cards. Witchy earrings. Yes, these are my witchy earrings. All my decorations I used last night for a Halloween event, so they're all kind of packed away. Alright, currently putting a Halloween fringe. Halloween something. Halloween claims. No wonder I couldn't figure out what that said. Okay, we have the Goblin cards tonight. We'll use these, and then we'll see how it goes. We might switch to the Trick or Treat Tarot. And honestly, it's like Christmas. You know how people get so much into Christmas? This is my Christmas. Let's take a look at how Donald Trump is doing. Happy Halloween! Do you ever notice how much Trump is, he really is a mob boss? Did you ever notice, am I just stating the obvious right now? He's a total mob boss. Let's see if Mark Meadows is going to flip. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at Mark Meadows and whether he's going to flip. Dead and breakfast. I've seen that sign on some houses. The Dead and Breakfast Inn. Let's see how Donald Trump is going to fare with Mark Meadows. We're going to just look at what Mark Meadows is going to be up to. Joyous mess. It's a joyous mess, I tell you. I didn't make tea tonight. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Mark Meadows and, oh, interesting. This is what the guides want us to know about Mark Meadows. He's been a fool, and he knows that he's caught. This is Trump, the emperor, and this is justice, which tells me that the fool Mark Meadows, who went along with the stupid plan to overthrow the government, it still boggles my brain when I think about it, as it probably does yours. This is Mark Meadows, this is Trump, and this is justice. Need I say more? I didn't even have to say a word. The cards just spoke. Yes, so Meadows is a fool, here's Trump, and here's justice. This is Trump thinking he's the emperor, but we all know the emperor has no clothes. Happy Samhain Eve! Okay, this is a time to communicate with your ancestors on the other side. They want to speak to you. And let's ask for those who have crossed over, who were helpers to our democracy. You're watching me from London. Oh, great, Vincent, that's so cool. I've been there a long time ago. London's a lovely city. They have the, what do they call it? The rail? I forget, the Euro-rail? Our founding fathers are helping us, so let's take a look at the health of our democracy right now. We know it's chaotic, but let's take a look at the health of our democracy. Okay, well, this is what we're facing right now. The health of our democracy. The Seven of Swords is it's being stolen. That doesn't mean it's been entirely stolen, but we have thieves that are attempting to steal our democracy away. The Five of Cups. I gotta think about these cards because I have to correlate them with the ones that I know. The Five of Cups is, I keep on getting that we're going to experience some loss, some not permanent, but we're going to experience just like we experienced with Roe v. Wade, taking away women's rights. We're going to experience some attempts at taking away our rights, more attempts at taking away our rights. This is I'm reading on the state of our democracy. The Seven of Swords is how much they're attempting to steal democracy from us. The Five of Cups is we will be suffering. I kind of feel like this is just like the abortion, women's rights being taken away. We're going to see other things right in our face that are going to be taken away. But this isn't permanent. Because I do see us going back to the Constitution. So, you know that line from that Joni Mitchell song, Big Yellow Taxi, don't it always seem to go, you don't know what you've got till it's gone? We're going to experience some of that. I'm remembering, this is the Hierophant, this represents the Constitution, which the Constitution is still standing very strong. Thomas is here, yay! Here's my bell. Thomas is here, you're all here, this is a bell for everybody. The Constitution is still strong. It amazes me how strong the Constitution is, but it's definitely being tested, and we're going to see what we stand to lose. And we will experience losing things. But I feel like we're going to make it through. And I feel like the more we support the media, whatever media is exposing the crimes, the more support we get from the media, now that could mean any kind of media, the more support we get from the media, the better off we'll be. But it's going to be, it's kind of like you know, you're holding on to something with wheels and it starts sliding down the hill, and you don't notice it's sliding down the hill because the gravitational pull starts to take it, and you're kind of like looking somewhere else, hanging on to this cart or something, and then it kind of starts moving down the hill, and then you got to grab it. That's kind of the sense that I have about this. Like, we'll be like, whoa, 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 almost lost it. Oh, whoa, almost lost the democracy. Whoa, almost lost the democracy. We're going to experience a lot of that. And I want to tell you that it's important, not that I want this, but it's important that we see what we stand to lose. That's what I'm feeling from these cards. We will experience, just like with women's rights, what we stand to lose, and then we'll start turning things around. I know that it's frustrating to see all the right-wing extremists, Christian extremists like Mr. Mike Johnson. I still think his sins are going to be revealed. And let's ask this. Let's ask if, this is what I'm picking up. When I think about Mike Johnson, well, and I keep seeing his sins being revealed. Nice dancing the other night. Yeah, that was fun. And Mike Johnson's, when I see his sins being revealed, I gotta tell you, I feel some kind of illicit sexual something with Mike Johnson. Warren says, Mike Johnson won't be speaker by February 1st. I agree with that. Interesting. Let's read on him. Let's read on him. Let's read on Mike Johnson. I just want everybody to know we will experience our democracy slipping through our fingers before we stop the bleeding, metaphorically speaking. These are my terrible glasses. Maybe these are better. He's too coiffed. You guys are using weird words. I can kind of make them out, but when you use unusual words, it's like, you know, somebody just put that they were putting Halloween clings on their window, and I'm like, what? So let's see. I said the other night when I was doing a mini reading for you all at the castle that Mike Johnson has some skeletons in the closet, right? 'Tis the season for the skeletons in the closet to come out. But what I'm picking up on, for entertainment purposes only, is some illicit sexual activity. Hey, you don't have to stretch your imagination that far to imagine a right-wing extremist Christian being found to have committed some illicit stuff of the sexual nature. For entertainment purposes only. What? You know what? This is the first I've heard of this. But I've noticed in the chat, and I don't know what's going on with this. I haven't heard. I mean, somebody was commenting the other night, Saturday night, that Mike Johnson has a black son. Where'd you guys get that? There's an insane commercial. I'm pulling you closer. From Idaho about how extreme the GOP. I don't know. Where did you get that story? From the news? Okay, well, let me tell you right now, I didn't hear that story. I've only seen a few people in the chat bring it up. And the other night, it was I didn't know if it was a troll or what. It's all over the net. Where? But I'm picking up on illicit sexual activity. All over the news? What news? What news? When he was 25, he adopted a 14-year-old African-American boy. It came up in Saturday Night Live too. Alright, well, I'm just telling you, I wasn't thinking about that, but I was picking up illicit sexual activity. So, alright, so that I didn't get it from the news, I got it from the cards. Three cards about that. You know me, I'm almost always right up to date on the news. He never adopted him. Yeah, but this, I'm not seeing anything about adoption. I'm talking about nefarious illicit sexual activity. So that's different. I think it's easy. Oh, okay. Well, this comes up repeatedly about Mike Johnson. And I just want you all to know, it's like almost impossible for me to see what's in the chat. So I'm going to look at the chat a little less. I keep on getting the moon around Mike Johnson. And the moon indicates a really emotional situation for him. Yeah, but I'm not talking about adoption. Like, let's talk about this. If he adopted a 14-year-old African-American boy, if that actually happened, is that a crime? He took the boy in, but never adopted him. That was a lie. So the illicit thing is he lied about the adoption. I'm going to have to go to the cards for the source. Illicit sexual activity, that's what I'm going to tell you. I think biological. I think biological. Okay. I agree that he's in the closet. I agree a secret relationship. Same as Matt Gaetz. Okay. Whatever's coming out about Mike Johnson is going to make him highly emotional. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? You know, I'll get to the bottom of it. Don't worry. We'll get to the bottom of it. The Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. It's going to come out. It's going to come out in the news more with more evidence, more credibly. The dude is hiding in the closet. Yeah, I agree. I keep saying skeletons in the closet, right? Let's take a look at his tenure as speaker. It's already flowing. I know, and from the very beginning I've said when that all happened, was that just last week? Today I totally lost track of time. Today I totally lost track of time in my schedule, and I was like, that's the kind of a place that we're in. We're in like news overload. December will be hot for the Johnson. I agree. Was Johnson at Madison Cawthorn's parties, the ones that he said the Republicans were having? I'm all over. He does illicit sexual things for entertainment purposes only. This is my psychic impression. Yeah, let's take a look at what his term is going to be, because I do see it's going to come out. And I do feel compelled to tell you all to support the news when they're to support investigative journalism. Support all the investigative journalists. And just speaking of that, by the way, that press conference where that Virginia Fox from, where's she from? South Carolina? When she said shut up when the reporter asked, like, what about your involvement with trying to overturn the election, whatever the question was. I cannot erase from my brain that Virginia Fox woman said, shut up! And they all acted like, how could you ask him such a question and be so inappropriate? From Virginia. Okay, thank you. Virginia from Virginia? Do I have her name wrong? North Carolina. Yes, it's Virginia from North Carolina. Thank you. I'd like for us to get the news right. At least, maybe the psychic news is not, 100%. No psychic is, but I like when we get the news stories right. Yeah, I mean, for that, Virginia, and her last name is Fox, right? Oh, is that just a coincidence? I mean, the universe speaks into, synchronicities and things kind of going together and, follow the pattern. And yeah, Virginia Fox. She's probably on Fox a lot. I don't know. I don't watch Fox. But I'm still angry about that. Like the audacity. And you know how they got that way? Because American people weren't paying attention and were too busy to pay attention, and so they just got all ballsy. And when we start paying attention and we start seeing what's being lost, we are going to not take it anymore because we'll be mad as hell. But that story about his illicit activity will come out. I do see him doing a big Jim Jordan, humana, about whatever's going on there. And I really see Mike Johnson, when more investigative research is coming out, more investigative reporting is coming out, I do see Mike Johnson getting very angry, just like Trump does, and blaming the Democrats and saying that the Democrats are making it up, and that's what I see him doing. He does look creepy. And one of the late night shows, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. I want to give credit where credit's due. I think it was. Did you guys see it when Mike got elected? And he was talking about him like he was a little kid dressed up like he was a politician. And then they changed his voice to a little boy's voice. It was very funny. It was very funny. He just put out a bill with Israel funding, with FBI funding. They're just trying to take this country apart. Let's just be real. When we look at what's going on in America, it's not that much different than being under attack from a foreign enemy. Think about it. We're dealing with people in the United States that are anti-America, pretending that the flag means something to them and pretending that, they're patriotic, right? There's a campaign ad with the shut up. Well, oh, good. Oh, I like it. See? It's giving us stuff to work with. That's for sure. Connie B, always laugh when you say here. That's funny. We're all friends here. And people show up and they're like, I'm sorry I'm late. Like, we're all going, well, where's Susie? You guys are awesome. I always look forward to hanging out. Alright. I feel like the guides are saying between now and the end of the year, it's going to be like ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum in terms of news. Get ready for dominoes in terms of news. I mean, like I said, I kind of really lost sense of time today. I mean, I knew what day it was, but And it was overcast all day and all day yesterday too. So you do lose sense of time when there's no sun. How do we do it? Let's pull 3 cards about Ivanka, and then we're gonna pull 3 cards about Don and Eric Jr. Don Jr. and Eric, and the guides are showing me the Trump children, the adult children, running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Is it group hug time? Sandy's proposing that we do a group hug. Thank you, Laura. I do my best. If you're ready for a group hug, put yes in the chat. Is it time? Love my guides. I love my guides too. Warren he says, I beg your pardon? Why, because you're the one to call it? Alright, it's unanimous. Everybody wants to do a group hug. This is our Halloween Eve. It's a very special time. Group hug. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Group hug. Halloween hug. Think happy, fun thoughts. Lift the vibe. All right. We're in. We're in with the hugs. I think we're going to keep doing that because people like the group hug. It makes us feel like we're really connected. I even talked about it at Church of Spirituality yesterday. Do please watch Church of Spirituality from yesterday. It was a very, very powerful... I watched it afterwards. I did a memorial for the victims of the gun shooting, and it was just, I don't know, I felt bowled over. So do watch. But I did mention the group hug. Yeah, that was a good group hug. I know you're polite and honest, but you're furious at Biden for... All right, let's find out why he's furious at Biden. We all need to talk. Biden, for how he's handling Israel, you did research and you're thoroughly disgusted. He's losing as many votes over this, it's sinking him. How can we bring up your energy? Joyous Mess, how can we bring up your energy? Thank you for the donation. How can we support you? Because we're in a really complicated situation. And when people are confused, they, not everybody, but when people are confused, they kind of do knee-jerk type stuff. And we can't really say that Joe Biden is sinking Israel. That's a little bit, that's pretty broad, right? Think positive. And just keep on thinking of the kind of world that you want to live in, and the kind of peace that you want to see happen. And let me just ask this to Joyous Mess: would you prefer Trump? And Biden is smart, and he does know what he's doing, and if we haven't had years and years of foreign relations experience, we really can't, we're really not qualified, right, to know what he's doing. So, Joyous Mess, are you saying that you think Trump will be elected? Because if you've seen Trump lately, thank you, Warren, if you've seen Trump lately, I think Kushner and Trump and Putin all had something to, they played a little, they had their dirty little fingers in this, not, at least indirectly getting this stuff as to be, the situation to be as unstable as it is. The polls are not real. And let me, gosh, I wish the news programs would stop going to the polls. Yeah, I like to give people an opportunity, in case they're not a troll. I do like to give people an opportunity to say what they need to say. within reason. So I have the wrenches here. Thank you to the wrenches. If you've seen Trump lately, I mean, I'm going to just remind you that the reason that Biden got more than 7 million more votes than Trump did is that people had enough. They had enough. And at least, that's definitely the number of people that have had enough of Trump. My God, how we were mad then. Not that I would have ever voted for Trump in a million years. And there's also lots and lots of evidence that's there that Russia was directly connected to Trump even getting in office. You remember how shocked we all were. Let's see. What do I think about Trump trying to get out of the January 6th conviction by pleading double jeopardy, claiming that since the Senate acquitted him, he cannot be charged again? Well, what I have to say about that is way to show everyone that you're guilty as hell. You know what I mean? Yeah, even with all the cheating and gerrymandering, we still pulled a win in 2020, which is why I say Joe Biden got more than 7 million more votes. Even though what we hear is he got 7 million more votes than Trump. Trump is losing his mind. And I've been talking a long time about the onset of dementia. Yes, Russia said Trump is their partner. They were in talks about building in Moscow, building Trump properties in Moscow. I mean, there are times that I just can't even believe all the evidence that's staring us right in the face and that he's still a free man. I mean, is that just an understatement? He's losing his mind. I mean, he kind of lost his mind a long time ago. But now, I can't even imagine getting up there in front of people and not having your wits about you and not knowing how to put two sentences together and still going up there. He's that, oh, what's up with the sleep? He's that far gone. He's that delusional that he thinks he can go up, stand up at the podium at a rally. He's that delusional that he thinks he can present as though he's presidential. All the classified documents, and I didn't watch all of SNL. I just catch clips of it afterwards. I didn't watch it all, but yeah, there was, what was it, Weekend Update? They were saying about, not being able to keep track of which sketch was from which, what they call him, a court model for, a court sketch model, Trump. And they were just, making jokes about how hard it is to keep track of which trial and which prosecution and, which crime. But speaking of SNL, honestly, I posted the two funniest in a very long time SNL skits. I mean, honestly, I was belly laughing. So go to my community page, and one is with George Washington talking about measurements. And the other is called Lake Beach. I mean, really belly laugh. If you need a belly laugh, you have to check those out. You heard it here. Oh my God, it was, Wildflower Wind agrees with me. I was belly laughing. You know when you laugh so much your head hurts? It's hilarious. So, and even the comedy, even the, comedy skits. Yeah, you guys are all laughing at that. Yeah, it was really good. And then somebody made the comment that you can tell that the writers' strike kind of made the writers really work on their material because they had all that extra time. And so they got really funny. Suzanne needs some belly laughs. Go check those out. I think it's on. They're both on my community page. Lake Beach was just hilarious. But when you watch comedy, of political comedy, it helps you to feel like you're not all alone, that we're all in this together, and we're all like, well, how do we make sense of this nonsense? And sometimes you just have to cut loose and just belly laugh, right? Yeah, honestly. So let's take a look at Trump's mental function. Everybody, for years I've been telling you, at the end I saw total mental decline, and I saw him in a mental institution, and that vision has never left me. And that was before any of all of it happened, right? Happy Halloween! Gloria's watching old sitcoms to make herself belly laugh. So what I'm pulling is 3 cards about... These glasses work for the cards, but they don't work for the chat. The Queen of Swords. This is Judge Chutkan taking Trump down. And all his, the light's going to shine on all his, what he's been doing. I told you the other night when I was at the castle and we did like a little mini reading, that Trump was praising the most heinous dictators of all time, and Hezbollah. He was praising them, talking like they're good people. And the reason that Trump just came out with the most heinous things possible that he could possibly say, which he was doing a few days ago, praising murderous dictators, praising murderous fascists, praising Putin, right? The reason that he got that despicable and that heinous was because last week, tragically, the focus was on the horrific shooting in Lewiston. They were all horrific, but it was just in the news. By the way, I have this ban assault weapons. I'm still trying to figure out who sent me these, because these are really good stickers. So there was that in the news, and there was the war in the Middle East in the news, and the camera hadn't been on Trump enough. So then he went just total full-on fascist admirer, ballistic, you know, what's the worst possible things that I can say? That's not a man who is well. And the sun is, it's being revealed now. Now the sun just reminds me of him in the spotlight, and all of his failing cognitive function is on full display. He loses his train of thought. He doesn't know what's going on. Governor of Maine is banning assault weapons. Oh man, I'll find out more about that. Like, I'm going to a leadership conference on Wednesday for several days, and we're going to be talking about the tough stuff. So I'll find out more about what's going on in Maine when I'm there. But that's really good news. So there was so much big news that Trump needs attention like we need oxygen. And if he doesn't have attention, he gets all disheveled, and he's really disheveled now, that's for sure. So that's a big part of the reason he was saying those horrible things. Plus, he does love evil, murderous dictators. Remember when Putin invaded Ukraine? You might remember this. Trump's response was, I was walking by a TV and I saw Putin invades Ukraine. And I said, isn't that genius? Do you guys remember that? That was Trump's response to Putin invading Ukraine. Back in February 22. Right? 22. Yes. Yeah. So he needed to... Maine is a red state. I don't know if you'd call Maine a red state. But he needed to make himself visible. So that's how he's always made himself visible. Trump is Putin's puppet. That's Hillary Clinton told us years ago. Seems like it was yesterday. It seems like what was yesterday. Yeah, I'll find out more about the ban on assault weapons. Janet Mills, I think her name is, and the governor of Maine. Maine's going purple. Well, I'll look at the war in Ukraine, Kathy. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to tell you about Maine. Maine. First of all, there are a lot of people in New England moving to Maine, and different parts of the country too. But New England tends to be blue. Not blue. I mean, Massachusetts is really blue, and I'm so grateful that I'm here, and I feel for people that are in red states, because it's like watching people that are promoting fascism all around you is not, my heart goes out to you, honestly. That can't be easy. And we'll do the work to get people on board with, okay, I won't be promoting fascism anymore, because that's what they're doing when they're waving their Trump flags. But Maine they're developing a lot in Maine. I fear for the trees in Maine, but I think people are environmentally conscious enough. I was telling you all that the shooter was in the woods, but that was like, it was a psychic impression last week. But Maine has more forest, more woods than more trees than any state in the nation. But I don't see the rural areas. Yeah, they're red in Maine, but there's a lot of the areas of Maine that are blue. Yeah, Democrats have the majority in Maine. Yeah, see, Cheryl's... Thank you for backing me up. I just didn't know the stats on it. When somebody said Maine is red, I was like, I don't think so. Thought maybe I missed something. And we heard crickets from Susan Collins. Did Susan Collins say nothing about the shooting? How dare her? I'm going to write to her office. Maine legislators vow action to address state's weak gun laws after shooting. Yeah, good. Thank you, Warren. Yeah, they're getting right on it. And Maine could lead the way. Yeah, Maine could lead the way. Being able to criticize our leaders is what differentiates us from the MAGA. Oh, okay. You guys talking? I'm gonna time out that person if you guys are gonna bring the vibe down. No fighting, children. Collins had a press conference. What did she say? Let me finish up with the Trump thing. Just to recap, because we kind of went off on a tangent. Judge Chutkin is going to put an end to Trump's reign, because the light's going to be shown on Trump. And he's doing it to himself right now. We all love each other. Yes, let's hear it. We all love each other. I'm excited. It's almost Halloween. Susan said nothing about getting rid of guns. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's because of the NRA. And if you want to hear my song called Bring This to an End, watch Church of Spirituality, because I decided to play it. And it's all about, beholden to an industry giving murder a way to thrive. I got to get that song out there. You got to help me, you guys. I'll do my best. Anyway, Trump, the Three of Pentacles is like the case is building for Trump's mental instability. Boy, it took a long time to get that out. Sure did. She talked about the yellow flag law has in Maine. That's all Susan Collins had to say? She's out of there. This was, what was incredible? What? What was incredible? I keep thinking I have my glasses on my head. What was incredible? Susan Collins is so wishy-washy. Yeah, I totally agree, John. That's so true. What do I think is causing the rash of horrible shootings? Well, we're in a very fearful time on the planet, and we're also in a place where the vibrational frequency of the planet, this is literal. The vibrational frequency of the planet is getting faster and higher. And when that happens, I've often described it to people like this, and this goes for your personal life, and this is the area where I would describe it like this. If you had a, like I'm sitting at a table, if on this table there was only, there's a whole bunch of stuff, but if there was only sand on this table, just sand, and there was like a, you know, a piece of machinery that was like a hammer, or like a jackhammer or something, and it was shaking the table, right? If there was something shaking the table and there was sand on the table and it was going fast, then the sand would fall off the table eventually. And that's the best way that I can describe what it's like when the vibrational frequency raises. Is some things can't keep up with that. And so the sand would come off the table. So this happens in your personal life too. When the vibrational frequency raises, then people that are negative start falling away. It's really true. And on the planet, there's so much fear, and there's been so much darkness and hatred that will not be able to continue. Like racism, white supremacy, terrorism is rising to the surface so everybody can see it, so we can eliminate it. It's a lot. But this is science. This is not me going all woo-woo, because I don't do woo-woo. This is what I do here is, I consider this a science. And I can feel myself going on a rampage, but I saw a Facebook post. I'm kind of back on Facebook just a little bit recently, and I saw a Facebook post where someone said, gee, I was thinking about buying a, I forget what it was, it's irrelevant what it was. I was thinking of buying a such and such, and I didn't even tell anybody, and I had said this before too. And all of a sudden my phone starts showing me all these different, I don't know, vacuum cleaners or whatever, and I hadn't said anything to anyone. I can read cards in the chat and, what? Wait a minute. I have bifocals, I hate them. So I just want you to know that we are going through this time, and people are filled with fear, and we will cling on to one another, and we will help one another when we are feeling afraid. We will. So just like our phones are reading our minds, there is science. I don't know if I saved the article, but after this started happening for me, I started to notice. I'm good, don't worry. I started to notice that my phone was reading my mind, and then I saw an article about it, that there is, in the technology, there's something that measures the blood in your brain. Yes, Trump was extremely confused last week. Speaking of brains. So that's happening too. So the frequency on the planet is increasing. It's making people extremely uncomfortable. When people become extremely comfortable, they get uncomfortable, they get really fearful. When people get fearful, they lash out. Now, as far as Hamas and Hezbollah and all the terrorists and, you know, the Putin and the Wagner group and all that, that's pure evil. It's brainwashing, mind manipulation, mind control to get people to kill. Because if you've ever been military, I've never been military. Moonchild just got it. Gotta stop bossing Annette around. I'm a Sag with Scorp Rising, Moon and Taurus. That's a lot of fixed energy. Good thing I'm a Sag. I don't take unsolicited advice. We'll just put it that way. And I love you guys. Don't take it wrong. It's just how I am. So yeah, that's why there's so much violence right now and so much shooting, so many shootings. And let's just be frank and obvious and logical. The reason we have so many shootings is that we've been programmed with violence for decades, for one thing. What's causing the vibration to speed up? It's a cosmic thing. It's a cosmic thing from out in the universe, out in space. Like, think about solar flares. Just, yeah, new way to shop, just yell it out and you get ads. Yeah, that's true, but now the technology is such that you don't even have to yell it out, you just have to think it. So, the vibration of love is high, is higher. And we're in a time in this world where we really have to choose. I dropped a card, hang on. The Six of Cups. It's interesting, I dropped this card and it came up. This is about, we're all one family. Yeah, and actually, I love you too. The eclipse was Saturday night. Did you guys feel it? You feel the group hug. I'm sure you felt the eclipse. Your mom cried for 2 days over the eclipse. She was sad that there was an eclipse. Yeah, the devil hates the light. The devil hates life. We need to really be praying and pulling together. Okay. The earth is evolving. So if you're able to get in nature, in a quiet, peaceful place, and you can settle your mind down, I promise you'll feel it. You guys all feel the group hug. I promise you'll feel it. But you have to be out in a peaceful, natural environment to really feel it. Yeah, the emotions hit her hard. Yeah, this is an eclipse month. We had an eclipse, and look at our Spirit Talk podcast with Kathy Beal. It's here under the lives. 2 rose felt tingles. It's real. And yeah, Kathy's saying she couldn't get any sleep. Definitely a side effect. You had trouble sleeping for 2 nights during it. Yeah, because I live on the ocean. Most of you know that. I'm by the ocean. It's right down the street. You've seen pictures that I've always done videos by the ocean when the weather was warm. But when the moon pulls the tides in, the reason we have high tide and low tide is that the moon affects water, and we're what, 98% water? Of course it affects you. You know that the crime rates go up when the moon is full. That's statistically shown. It did get cold this morning, didn't it? So you can feel it if you go out in nature, and if you really practice meditating and stuff, you'll be more sensitive to the high vibes too. You feel very sad, don't know why. I can speak to that. There was a very big, sad vibration energy today. I really did. I tuned in. A couple times I was like, what is this? And there's a horrible, unthinkable, horrible war in Ukraine. We want it to end. We want it all to end. And then all this disharmony, let's pull 3 cards about Ukraine. Because I think it was Kathy up there was asking. About Ukraine. 10 of Pentacles, there's a lot of strategic fighting going on in Ukraine. And they're isolating Putin. The 10 of Pentacles, there's a lot of, Ukraine has more weaponry than you know, than you might think. And the 6 of Swords. It's gonna continue to be a slog. I don't see the war on Ukraine ending this year. I wish I had better news. They do have the upper hand. Ukraine does have the upper hand. But I do see It's going to be a slog. It's not going to end this year. And there's only a couple more months left to the year. Look at all those people saying they couldn't sleep. Yeah, Ukraine has the upper hand, Gloria. Don't you worry. Just stick with us. It might be time for my commercial. And I want to tell you too, the veils are very thin right now between the two worlds. I already said that, but I'm just reminding you. So you can raise your vibration and tune into the higher energies on the other side. The reason that Angela's asking, do I think the Republicans' reason for not funding Ukraine is because they get dark money? The reason the Republicans don't want to fund Ukraine is because they're working for Putin. I mean, right? Wow, you guys you need some help. You're all not sleeping. I was an insomniac for at least 20 years, so let me help you with that. If you're not able to sleep, you really just have to be, don't lay in bed not able to sleep. Get out of bed, walk around, distract yourself with something, have some chamomile tea, and tell yourself that if you don't get sleep, it'll be okay. Yeah, Gloria's been sleeping good, so that's great. That's how I got through, and I exercised a lot, and I'm better now, but I exercised a lot, and there's a lot of natural things that you can take. Before I do my commercial break, I will pull some cards about Joe Biden. I'm so tired of people talking about, don't take too much melatonin. It's really better to wear yourself out. And if you don't sleep one night, you'll sleep the next because you'll be so exhausted. You have to get exercise. There's really no way around that. Got up and changed your living room around? Anyway, what I was saying was I'm so tired of them talking about Biden's age. I wish they would shut up already. It's like, can you imagine if you were working so hard and you were knocking it out of the park, you were keeping the world together, you were flying here and flying there into dangerous war zones, and you're, making the economy amazingly great in these trying times, and getting, going and supporting the workers on strike, and really just trying to the best you can to work with the impossible Republicans, fascists, and you're doing all this, and people are just going, you're too old. Are we really that shallow as a nation? Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Geez, I should do a class on how to get to sleep. My commercial break, real quick. If you'd like to book a reading, go to psychicannetteDion.com. I might have some time tomorrow, but then I'll be busy. Because I'll be in Maine. So psychicannetteDion.com. But you can book a reading for any time, like next week. A lot of people think 30 is old. That's ridiculous. I don't have any classes coming up right now, but do check out Church of Spirituality. And especially from yesterday. I know I haven't written on my whiteboard for a while. I kind of forget about it. please watch Church of Spirituality from yesterday. It's really important that the people watch that. I would really like for more people to watch it. And Grassroots of Democracy meets 3 times a week, and tomorrow is our 20 on Tuesdays guided meditation for a healed America. We do that every single Tuesday night. And you receive a recording of the guided meditation for a healed America. Thank you, Cheryl. You receive the recording afterwards, even if you don't make it to the meeting. And Grassroots of Democracy meets on Thursdays for our discussion group, and on Saturdays we get to work doing tasks to save democracy. And Gloria, thank you. Yeah, so people are saying they watch Church of Spirituality, so please check it out. So join Grassroots of Democracy. Book a reading, psychicannetteDion.com. It's been very slow for me, and this is how I make my income. This is how I'm able to come to you. Bring us all together. I don't get paid except when you book readings and attend classes. There'll be a lot more of that. When you become a member, you get a daily affirmation Monday through Friday in your inbox. You get 10% off a tarot reading, and you also get to attend a psychic party once a month. That's all I can think of right now. There'll be more. There'll always be more. I'll probably have a winter solstice event on Zoom. It's all on Zoom. And that. What have you missed? Marge, you just showed up? Thank you, Cheryl. Oh, I'm so glad you're endorsing Church of Spirituality. Like, I ask you for nothing. Just come and get the spiritual inspiration. And tithe if you can. I mean, I do accept donations. We must ask about Joe Biden. Where's the moon today? So chatty. What's going on? The moon is in Gemini. Yeah, that's a chatty sign. Colorado's having oh yeah, they're having a trial about that 14th Amendment. Okay. Barb is endorsing my affirmations. When you join my channel, when you become a member, you get an amazing affirmation every morning. We love Joe Biden. Was I reading on Joe Biden? I'm lost. Okay, sorry. Once again, I am reading on Joe Biden. Joe Biden knows that the hammer's coming down from the DOJ on the insurrectionists. Joe Biden knows that he's got to hold this house together. Whatever that means. And keeping things in balance. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that Joe Biden is doing to just keep this country going and keep the world from blowing up. There's a lot of things that Joe Biden is doing. That's why I get so angry when people are picking on his age. Oh, and by the way, can you please hit the thumbs up? Please and thank you. He's doing a whole lot to keep things in balance. There's a whole lot that he's kind of biting his tongue about. The Four of Wands, yeah, he's just trying to hold America together. Yeah, he knows justice is coming. He knows that justice is coming from Trump. And by the way, I think that for some reason I feel like Joe Biden knows what the symptoms that Trump is having are. Biden knows that Trump is suffering from some kind of early onset of dementia. You cannot click on the thumbs up because you already did. Thank you. Yes, I feel like Joe Biden sees Trump faltering on the stage and understands, well, we all know, if you just do a little research or you know people that have had early onset of dementia, you know what it is, right? I'm frozen. Am I frozen? the gag order won't matter with him. Well, let's take a look at the gag order for what's going to go on with Judge Chutkin and the gag order. We really have to pray for this country. I mean, I was reading an article that was so disturbing about how many Damon. There were a lot of gun shootings over the weekend. I guess I froze up for a little minute. Yeah, my Wi-Fi plug-in seems to kind of remedy that much better than it was without it. So we'll just. Biden knows the temperature of the U.S. That's true. So, this is about what's going to happen with Trump and Judge Chutkin. Oh yeah. We're being reminded. Denise Ferguson is saying that we should watch Biden's the White House Correspondents' dinner speech. That was good. That was fun. Oh, you love my ghost with blinking eyes? I have a different view, so I didn't know you could see that. I love my blinking eyes ghost. And I love the other ghost too, with the bubble light. Is Biden spiritually aware, like us, that Donald Trump is working with the dark side? Yes. Yes, he's aware. Yes, he calls out the evil. The hot goblin and the... I'll tell you a little story about the goblin ball in a minute. So I'm reading about Trump, and I have the death card. His crimes against the world. Trump's crimes against the world. We were asking about Judge Chutkin and what's going to happen now that she's reinstated the gag order. I know, it's annoying as all hell that they keep going back and forth rather than throwing him in jail. Bannon has been telling 45, let them put you in jail. You know, let's think about it. Do you really think that Trump has more fans now? Now that we've seen how, I don't mean us, but do you really think he has more fans now? Because he doesn't. And those polls are BS. Trump is 77, yeah. And so the mainstream news picks on Biden for being 80. People age differently. Let's be real. People do age differently. The Five of Pentacles. So this is about Trump. I have the death card. This is about Judge Chutkin, the gag order. It's over for Trump in terms of continuing to just spew BS and get away with it. I know. It's hard to believe. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is not easy for Trump. It's the world crimes. It's the international crimes that really seriously are going to get him. And I feel like the insurrection was an internationally influenced crime. I think that for entertainment purposes only, Putin had something to do with the insurrection. And Putin was on the phone with Trump frequently when he was in the White House. Yes, Biden has a healthy lifestyle. 45 doesn't. I don't know how Donald Trump is still standing. From a health perspective. And Pence dropped out. He was, being made a mockery of, Mike Pence. Well, Mike Pence has no spine whatsoever. Can you imagine somebody trying to murder you and you're like okay with it? Good Lord. Okay. I want to pull 3 cards. Oh, this is what we're gonna do. I'm wondering if Maine actually is in the process of banning assault weapons. If that's gonna start a trend. Russia, if you're listening, yeah, man. if Maine is actually going to ban assault weapons and start a trend. Because if one state can do it, other states can do it. Somebody asked me again if Putin is dead. Oh dear. Someone said after Pence dropped out, the mother is running around with the fly swatter trying to kill that fly. Ramaswamy and DeSantis. Well, DeSantis will be next, and then Vivek, the total liar. I cannot stand that man. So as far as is Maine going to start a trend? It looks like yes. Yeah, over the weekend there were a lot of gun massacres. Oh, Kalani's still waiting. There's going to be Republicans that fight it. It's going to cause a big disruption. I'm asking about banning assault weapons starting in Maine. And the Nine of Swords. I kind of feel like Maine right now is so in shock. I mean, it was only Wednesday night. Maine is in such shock that it's going to take a little time before they can wrap their heads around enacting an assault weapon ban. But everyone keep this in mind. Ban assault weapons. Ban assault rifles. It looks like it's gonna be, it's almost like, do they really feel like fighting about it right now? Because I feel like the AR-15 wielding people are gonna make a stink. It's not that it's not gonna happen. They get huge donations from the NRA, which is why I just quoted my song. Politicians say they're listening, the NRA then gives them a payout. The heat is on and it is... You have to listen to the song. Okay. I feel like there's something really big we have to read on. What is it? Do you guys want to ask a question? Thank you for the $2 donation. Donations are being accepted. The only reason for an assault weapon is to blow a human being into smithereens. Let's be clear. You don't need an AR-15 to go shoot a chicken. Will more hostages be released? Yes, we went over that before, but it's not out of compassion. Put it that way. Yeah, AR-15 assault weapons are weapons of war. I already touched on the speakers, Mike Johnson's. Let's take a look at whether we'll have... I read on whether there'd be a government shutdown before, and I got no, because they don't want the spotlight on them as being the cause of it. Let's read on the potential for a government shutdown. The Republicans are just, they're not, the Republican Party, they're not governing. They're not doing anything that even remotely resembles governing. When I read the energy of the Republican Party right now, it's like none of them are even thinking about doing their jobs. Will there be peace for Christmas this year? Well, we have to create it. I don't think the new speaker will be in office very long at all. Government shutdown. I have the death card. Ooh, that's interesting. The idea of having a government shutdown looks like it's going to be shot down very quickly. Yes, Ukraine will get... Oh, okay, you're talking about in the package. I'm getting a sense that Ukraine will continue to get aid from us, and the Republicans are going to succeed at chiseling away at it somewhat from what it is now. So as far as the government shutdown, it's going to, I get a sense of something's going to happen really quickly to put an end to the whole idea. They always do this. They always, like, it comes down to the wire. They freak us out. I did read on Tuberville before, and I got that eventually he'd be sat down. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it. Thanks. I do feel like there'll be a little bit of a less aid for Ukraine, but Ukraine will still be okay. Yeah. As far as the government shutdown, it looks like, once again, at the last minute, it's not going to shut down. Because that's how those fascist Republicans roll. And the Knight of Pentacles, it's going to become really clear to us who's on our side. But I got to tell you, I'm really getting strong guidance that it's up to us to create the reality that we want to see. We have to be fully immersed in creating the reality that we want to see. We do it here, right? And we do it on Tuesday nights. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com and sign up for 20 on Tuesdays. Somebody in Colorado was going to do a mass shooting but shot himself instead. That's interesting. These people are such lost souls. It's awful. Yeah, so come to 20 on Tuesdays, and it's occurring to me that it's Monday night and Midas Touch is on, so let's go watch Midas Touch and support them. In my frantic untangling of my lights, I ran out of time to make tea. So on Wednesday, I will be coming to you from a different location. I've already asked if, I think our activities will be finished by 6, so plan on seeing me Wednesday and Friday, unless you hear otherwise. Do I know who Lawrence Tribe is? Sure, of course I do. He was on Lawrence O'Donnell Dolphin. Yeah, of course I do. He's awesome. Okay, yes, we're manifesting our reality that we want together. And we've got lots and lots and lots of love in this group. So thank you so much for being here tonight. And we'll see you on Wednesday or tomorrow night at 20 on Tuesdays. Please check out Church of Spirituality from yesterday. We need to send light to the victims of the survivors and the victims of the shootings, and we got to make this country better, people. So we got to all be woken up. All right, go watch Midas Touch. See ya. Namaste. Happy Halloween.